This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach. Hello, everybody. No matter where we are so glad that you are here. My name is Becca Dukes, and welcome to Daily with Doc. Let's make sure that we let everybody in from the waiting room. Yes, folks, this is live. You may be catching us live. You may be catching a replay. Either way, if you would like to join us live, you may do so by coming to dailywithdoczoom.com. That's dailywithdoczoom.com, Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time. So figure that out. You can even ask Google. She'll tell you what time it is in your time zone. If you say, what time is it at Pacific, in my time zone at 12 o'clock Pacific time? And you will get an answer, whether it's Google, Bixby, Alexa, or Siri. Doesn't matter, whoever else you use or talk to when nobody else wants to talk to you. But anyways, thank you and welcome. Now, this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com, where we do have a good foods, bad foods list for those of you who are looking for guidance on what to and not to eat. We also have articles that help you get more information about what you can do to help yourself when it comes to nutrition. And these are all based on the teachings and research of Dr. Joel Wallach. We also on the website have a store. Now, the store is for those who have never placed an order of any of the products that you will be hearing about today. But if you have been working with somebody or somebody sent you to watch this program, we want to make sure that you get back with them. So reach out to them right now and send them a link and say, hey, I'm on, or text rather, and send them, I'm on and watching. Thank you so much. Let's talk after the show about what I liked most about the show. Now, for those of you who don't have anybody to talk to and you haven't been referred by anybody specific and you would like to get information about what you yourself can do to create a better health journey, I have a team of certified holistic health coaches at 855-949-3377. And for those of you who prefer email, you can submit your questions at questions@dailywithdoc.com. Now, my name is Becca Dukes. I am, of course, the hostess of this program. I also am the Director of Student Services for the Institute of Holistic Health, where we just had our 14th graduating class of certified holistic health coaches, putting us over 1,000 graduating certified holistic health coaches from the Institute of Holistic Health. Now, folks, if you're looking for a program that's going to teach you more about, well, more than just being able to listen to somebody, you definitely want to check out coachwithdoc.com. That's coach, WITHDOC.com, and get more information about the Certified Holistic Health Coach course, because it is holistic. There's no holes in it. That's why we spell it with a W, where we look at all areas of health, including the emotional, the spiritual, and the financial, not just the nutritional, which is so important as part of the foundation, but it connects to 8 different areas. And that's what's covered in the coach course, Certified Holistic Health Coach course by the Institute of Holistic Health. Now, if all of you, or if any of you are here live with us and you want to see the full effect, go to that gallery. Make sure that you look for that image that shows the header, the footer, and it says a smile, okay? That should be at the top of the list, and pin it. So if you right click on it, or there's 3 little dots in the upper right corner, you can pin it. Then you'll be able to see the full effect of today's program. Now, if you have questions, we're going to leave some time at the end of the program for some questions. If you have questions specifically for Dr. Wallach, especially if they relate to today's topic, we want to make sure that we get to those questions. So use that reactions option in the Zoom room and raise your hand like Jim has done. Thank you, Jim. And if you're out on any of the platforms and there's a way that you can comment, I do have some amazing folks here on our team that are watching for those comments and can bring them into the program as well. So feel free to write your comments. Let us know where you're at and share this program. You're not hearing it just to go in one ear out the other. You're hearing it for a purpose, and that purpose may be somebody you love and helping them to create that missing link to their better health journey. So I am super excited as we host the leader of our crusade, the man who discovered at a very young age the importance of nutrition, not just the importance of the nutrition, but also the damage that other things are doing within the body. He has taken that information. He went, went from an unruly child or a child that had a few tics and things going on to being able to be successful and participate in groups and team sports, in Boy Scouts, go on to become an Eagle Scout, and also go to college, where he worked his way through college in the pathology lab. He got a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture and Plant Sciences. He didn't stop there. He went on to become a doctor of veterinary medicine. He found a very important case that was dropped on his lap basically during a Christmas break when everybody else was visiting their families. He stayed and worked, where he found the effect of a mass die-off of a herd of sheep, linked that to a toxicity, where they were actually poisoned by some of the things that were going into the ground to support plant growth. He also discovered not just that they had this issue, but also the cause. And with that writing of that paper that he wrote, it got the attention of Merlin Perkins of Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom, where after Dr. Wallach graduated from Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, he was asked to be a lead pathologist and veterinarian on many expeditions. One in particular that saved the white rhino, brought it back from extinction in South Africa. After that, he was doing the Yerkes Primate Center, where he found the first non-human case confirmed of cystic fibrosis, where he proved it was not a genetic condition, which was previously said, nor was it genetic, nor was it something that could not be fixed by nutrition. So he found the underlying cause. He found that it was not within a family, that it could happen to anybody, any mammal. And they didn't like that answer, so they fired him. But that pushed him on to teach nutrition at a naturopathic college, where he then became a naturopathic physician. And all in this time, he had acquired a total of 3 postdoctorates in pathology. One of those had to do with 1,700 children that had passed away suddenly under the age of 10. 1,700 children under the age of 10. He found what the underlying cause was, what they actually had passed from. And then he was able to take that research and go on to help what we, as my age group and older, knew as Jerry's kids. When Jerry's kids suffered from muscular dystrophy, he worked very closely with Marvin Rock, who was a Navy SEAL, who was working within those communities, where they put them on a program and they were able to change those children's lives, those families' lives, by eradicating muscular dystrophy. Folks, there's so many things going on today in the news that's telling us don't eat this, don't eat this, don't eat this. And over the decades and generations, that has changed multiple times. But today, we are going to be talking about cholesterol. Yeah, cholesterol, folks. It's essential. It is our human weapon against so many different things. And we're going to hear more about that today. And it is my honor and privilege to bring to the screen with me the one and only, the man who saved my life. And I guess maybe I listened to him because he was a veterinarian first. And then what he was saying just made sense when it came to nutrition and minerals and vitamins and amino acids and proteins and cholesterol. Dr. Wallach, welcome to Daily with Doc. How are you today?
Well, very fine, thank you. And thank you for the kind introduction and sharing the history and the story of why we're here.
Yes, while we're here. And I forgot a couple things. Let's talk about how many times did you, with your attorney, Jonathan Emord, sue the FDA?
8 times in federal court.
8 times. And won.
And won every time. And the reason why we sued them was to get the nutrients put into baby formulas so they wouldn't get the sudden death syndrome, and they wouldn't get muscular dystrophy. And when they fired Jerry Lewis, which is a terrible thing.
Before you go there, or let's stay with some of those other things. So the sudden infant death syndrome, you had mentioned muscular dystrophy, but birth defects like cerebral palsy, cystic fibrosis. Now, notice that I said defects, birth defects. These are not genetic. They're not genetic traits. They're not genetic disease. They're birth defects. And Dr. Wallach, why would you have a birth defect?
I'm sorry?
Why would we have, why do birth defects happen?
Oh, well, birth defects happen when the mothers are deficient in nutrition in early pregnancy. And the nutrients that the embryo needs to develop properly are not there. So it's like going down a assembly line and they're missing a couple of parts. And so at the end of the assembly line, you're missing that part. And so that's kind of the basic thing that was happening. And we eliminated, through those lawsuits, we eliminated the false belief that these were all due to genetic problems. There are no genetically transmitted diseases. I was able to prove that. And so this is very, very proud of that work we did. Many, many people were involved. various levels of universities and companies and so forth. And so we cannot thank the hundreds of people who were involved in that program. But we did get rid of cystic fibrosis, we got rid of muscular dystrophy, we got rid of the sudden death syndrome, and we got rid of, well, we didn't get rid of it, but we know the cause, prevention, and cure of the metabolic syndrome. And we know how to get rid of osteoporosis, we know how to get rid of arthritis, we know how to get rid of heart disease, we know how to get rid of all these brain and spinal cord diseases that have demyelinization, where the white matter goes away. And we have, of course, we came up with the little chewables that will rebuild the myelin, the white matter, the brain and spinal cord. And this is going all over the world. It's in 80 countries. We're very, very proud of that.
So Dr. Wallach, let's talk about that product that you just held up. And I have a different form of it. You have the chewable. I have the powder, which is in the new vanilla flavor. Yours is the vanilla flavor chewable. What in this product then supports the protection of the brain and the nerves?
Okay, well, basically, the product is made up out of a substance, okay?
Hyperimmune.
Spinal cord to make myelin. It's raw materials for the brain and spinal cord to make myelin, the white matter of the brain. There's so many diseases. Kids can't remember their names. They can't get through school because they can't remember things. They get violent, so forth. The doctors say, well, this is a genetic thing. And so this is, no, it's not. And of course, this is what the chewables look like. I like the French vanilla. They're about 1 millimeter thick and they're diameter 1/4. And I take 2 or 3 of those 2-3 times a day. And they protect the brain and the spinal cord from deterioration, because 85% of your brain and spinal cord is myelin, the white matter, 85%. And when you're told to stay away from cholesterol, which is a raw material your body needs to make the myelin, okay, that's like saying, don't put gasoline in your car and wonder why the car won't run, okay?
So, Dr. Wallach, we're talking about cholesterol.
Yes.
We talked about the myelin sheath.
Cholesterol is your best friend.
Cholesterol is your best friend. Well, and we talked about the myelin sheath. So, and I know that there's a percentage of that myelin that protects the brain and the nerves that is made up of cholesterol.
Yeah. And
the
also,
liver requires
the male and female hormones are made up out of cholesterol.
that too.
95% by weight of testosterone and estrogen is cholesterol. And so you go on a cholesterol free diet and you take anti-cholesterol medication, you are in trouble. You're going to have trouble with your gender. You're going to have trouble with your brain and your spinal cord. And so this is why we came out with the products, the I-26. The kids love it. And of course, I like the kids who are taking the kids toddy, which is a liquid multiple for kids. They can start taking it when they're like a month old. The kids toddy, it's a liquid, tastes and smells like a juice. And then when they're old enough to chew stuff, say 3 months old, they can have the chewables.
5 months old is when they're getting that chewing factor going on, about 5 to 6 months. So there's a lot that can be done throughout development and pre-development that is so important when it comes to supporting the brain, the nerves, the whole entire body.
And the hormones.
And the hormones. Well, isn't that part of the whole entire body though?
Yeah.
Or is that just a function of the body?
Goes through the whole body. For instance, your 10th cranial nerves is formed in the brain, goes all the way down to your toes. And you get a deficiency of cholesterol, you'll feel it in your toes.
How would you feel it in your toes if you have a deficiency of cholesterol?
I'm sorry, say again?
How would you feel it in your toes if you have a deficiency of cholesterol?
Well, the cholesterol is the protection of the nerve. It's the myelin sheath, it's the outside sheath. Cholesterol is only dangerous when you fry it. Cholesterol is dangerous when you fry it. When you fry any fat, it's dangerous. So you do not want to
So
be
that's why you
frying
say no fried fats,
no fried fats. That's
no
right.
fried foods,
No fried foods.
no overcooking your meats,
No
especially
overcooked
the fatty
meat.
meats.
That's correct. No
No
fried.
using bottled oils when it comes to heating and frying food.
Yeah, no fried chicken, no fried fish.
Baking is really good, folks.
Yes.
Really good. Baking and doing some grilling on not too high of heat. So there's a lot of things that can be done with your food that can either make or break those nutrient molecules within it. And remember, I mentioned on our good website, dailywithdoc.com, you can find the good foods, bad foods list that goes through more than just the list of the list, but also some descriptions and some clarification on those good foods, bad foods. So, Doc, I have somebody whose daughter has been told that they have high cholesterol. Okay. Her good cholesterol is too low, but her overall cholesterol, they're saying, is too high. Too high being 217, which really doesn't seem very high. But they're saying that the good cholesterol down in the, oh, let me pull it up here, like 75 range, 64 range is just right. So LDL is showing at like 136, and that's high. What is the difference between LDL and HDL?
Well, low density cholesterol and high density cholesterol are different from the standpoint of the raw materials to make hormones and also to make myelin in the brain and spinal cord.
Okay, so which one is the one that we want?
Either one will work as long as you don't fry it.
Okay, so high density, low density, and that's high density. Is it lipids? Low density lipids? Is that right?
It could be a lipid, it could be a cream.
Well, just the meaning of HDL and the meaning of LDL. I've got to come over there and fix your speakers, Doc, or have somebody do it. So my question is, it's good and bad on the cholesterols. Which one is bad? Is it the LDL or the HDL?
Well, again, depending on the amount, but I would.
They're both needed?
They're both needed, yes.
Okay. Okay. There we go. They're both needed. But we do want to make sure that we're looking at our diet to control the cholesterols and get a good balance and not do it through pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, and get these kids on the kids toddy when they're a month old and they can have it.
An adult.
Hmm?
So this daughter is 40 years old.
Oh, then she needs.
So I'm not going to put her on the kids toddy.
She's a healthy brain and heart pack. She needs the I-26. And she needs
what else?
She also needs a Xerafem, which is the raw materials to make female hormones. We have Zertest for males. So, we have.
So she's 100 and.
Go ahead.
She's 160 pounds at 5'6". So the hormones will be very helpful with that in case the little extra weight is caused by a hormone imbalance. And what else, Doc? The Ultimate Daily Classic?
I'm sorry. I didn't.
You're not hearing me very well, are you? The Ultimate Daily Classic? Ultimate Daily Classic?
Yeah, Ultimate Daily Classic. Okay, Ultimate Daily Classic. I like that. And I like the let's see here, Ultimate Daily Classic.
And the niacin plus.
I like, for males, I like the Zera Test. For females, I like the Zera Fem.
Mhm. And then also, if you've got a bunch of bad cholesterol, I know that you recommended the Ultimate Niacin Plus.
It is correct.
And that has things that help to support good cholesterol levels, and also the nutrients help for the support of building that myelin sheath, especially around the nerves.
It is correct.
So awesome. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. We get a lot of questions about cholesterol. So I'm hoping that this helped clear some of those questions up. And we just want to thank you, Dr. Wallach, for all of your work. Are you ready to take some questions?
Yeah, let's go for it.
All right, well, let's go to our first hand that is up. And Jim, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Jim. How you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing, Becca?
Fantastic.
And you, Doc?
Okay, how can we help you, sir?
My daughter called a couple weeks ago with a cat that had a heart murmur, and we've been giving the cat we thought was fainting, but we've been giving the cat what you prescribed. But ever since then, the cat, I'm not sure he's fainting. I think he might be having seizures. This all started after she put topical tick and flea substance on him. And there's another cat in the house, and she treated them both at the same time. She's wondering if, since they groom each other, if they ingested some of that flea and tick stuff, because the cat, on a daily basis, when it gets excited, when it gets playing, it'll flop down to the floor. Its hind legs will stiffen and pull up against the body, and it lets out a really loud scream, my daughter calls it. And then after 30 seconds, it kind of gets up and staggers away, and then it's okay until the next day. And we're wondering if we can help them in any way.
Yeah, you need to get the Arthrodex.
We got that.
Okay, and just follow the directions for the amount for body weight for the cat. And instead of giving it once a day, give it twice a day until that behavior disappears.
So Dr. Wallach, I've heard it's very common when somebody uses flea and tick that it creates toxicity that can then trigger these type of seizures. What would you recommend to detoxify or detox the cells of the body of his little cat babies?
Well, you know, the what should I say, the Arthrodex is where to start.
Okay,
And you give it twice a day. Give it twice a day instead of once a day.
Okay.
Okay.
How about the herbal rainforest for detoxifying?
Herbal rainforest, especially if the cat is a little constipated, yeah, the herbal rainforest has 15 cleansing herbs, and let's see here, it has 15 cleansing herbs. It goes up to 75 different minerals in it. That'll definitely help the cat. And you may have to dose it because it may not like the taste in their drinking water. I don't know.
Yeah.
What about something like bentonite clay? Would that help get it out of his system?
It's hard to
I
say.
wouldn't. Yeah, so bentonite clay has many purposes, especially when it comes to infections. And using it topically, you can use it, you know, mixed in a little bit of water. You don't want to get too much or it'll plug them up. But the herbal rainforest I've used quite often with dogs and cats. They absolutely love it. It makes it easy to take. You can even mix selenium in it and they'll drink it right up. And that'll help with the delivery of some of the nutrients that are needed that may be a little more difficult to administer if they won't eat it in their food. But don't put the herbal rainforest in their food. Put that separate. And for a cat, I mean, you're looking at like half a teaspoon. You can add it to a little bit of water just to help give the water or give the cat more hydration.
Okay, the best way she's been able to get stuff like the EFAs and the minerals into the cat would be to put it on its fur and it licks it off. But they really don't like it in their food very well.
That's a great way. That's a great option.
Yeah, you gotta be
Absolutely.
smarter than the cat.
Yeah. Okay,
Oh, we got to learn from the cats, Doc.
they're teaching
We
us.
can learn from the cats, especially those that just love to lick.
Yeah, and I have
So-
a quick question on the fried foods you talk about all the time. Are you talking about just deep fried foods, or if you put a hamburger patty in a pan with some butter and the lid on there and then flip it after a couple minutes till it's brown on both sides, is that considered frying?
Yes, it's a type of frying. It's not deep frying, but it's a type of frying. And
Okay,
so what you want to do is you want to roast those burgers as opposed
Cook on low heat, Doc.
yeah.
Cook on low heat. Yeah.
roasting?
So it's a
Like
little,
in an
it's a
oven?
little difficult to roast a burger, but you can use the pan, put it on low heat, cook things on low heat. You don't want the fats to get a high heat.
Okay.
So try to avoid the whole sizzle thing, but you'll be able to cook that burger with no problem. Deep frying, absolutely not.
Okay,
Absolutely not.
thank you very much. both of you.
Yeah, and
Eggs.
the same thing goes for people. Don't you be eating any fried stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I think we're talking about people, Doc, but not frying people, just the foods that are typically eaten. So, and
Thank you
for
both.
eggs, a lot of people like fried eggs. Well, you can baste an egg. It's on low heat. You put the butter in there, baste it in butter, and you can cook it. It's absolutely fabulous. I know Doc likes them that way, or even poached.
Okay,
But with the poaching, you do not have to use vinegar, okay? Vinegar, most vinegars have a wheat base or have wheat included in them. So don't use vinegar when you're poaching. Or you can do a soft boiled egg. Now
so
hard
go
boiled,
for
soft.
apple cider vinegar as well?
You gotta read the label.
Okay,
Yeah, you got to read the label, make sure it says gluten-free.
okay,
But in cooking your eggs, it's not required. It's not required. Some people
Thank
think
you.
poaching is not poached unless you use vinegar. I do it all the time. So
Thank you.
great questions, Jim. Thank you. All right, Doc. Let's go to some of the questions that have been submitted in here. But first, I'm going to go back to some comments that kind of have questions with them. And so I think it's Dennis says, when it comes to eggs, the more the better, right? Is that correct, Doc?
Well, I eat 6 eggs a day. I have 3 soft scrambled eggs in butter at breakfast and 3 soft scrambled eggs in butter at dinner time. Okay. They're whole foods because they had all the nutrients in there to make a whole chicken. Okay, very high quality proteins. And what should I say? You know, I'm 85 years old. Most people think I'm 50 when they look at me. Well, that's because I'm eating those 6 eggs a day. And well, my doctor says you can't be eating eggs because of the cholesterol. Well, let's see how long your doctor lives if he's following that himself.
Well, and then it goes on to say doctors on TV commercials are now saying that 55 is the number for cholesterol. And folks, 55 is going to give you a one-way ticket to having some cognitive issues and neurological issues. 55 is low, Doc. Would you agree?
It's too low, and you're not going to have much of a sex life because 85% of testosterone is cholesterol.
There you go. Forget about thinking, forget about, eliminating nerve pain. If you want to have a good life, with your partner, don't leave out the cholesterol. So, all right. Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Next, let's go to a question and comment. It says, I'm becoming more allergic to gluten to the point that I just have to be near gluten to get a sunburn. They're saying that it has to do with leaky gut. which supplements would you recommend that are high in antioxidants or high in anti-inflammatories? So Dr. Wallach, if we've got somebody that has a gluten allergy, they've got leaky gut, what would you recommend?
Well, they need to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no butter, iron, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. The diet one's got to go. Then they need either the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack or the Healthy Start Pack, one or the other. Okay, one per 100 pounds of body weight. And if they weigh 140 pounds, I go with two. So you have a full dose of either one of those twice a day. Okay. And when you're talking about this sort of thing, you also want to make sure you're getting is there a test for boys and is there a fem for girls?
Okay. So
For
any
the
other
hormones.
digestive? Yep,
Say
for the
again?
hormones, that's very important. Any other digestive products that you would recommend? Like the enzymes, ultimate enzymes,
Yeah,
or
the enzymes are good. Just read the enzymes, make sure there's no gluten in them. And
ultimate enzymes don't have any gluten in them, Dr. Wallach, but they do have ox bile. What's
okay,
ox bile good for?
okay, ox bile helps you absorb the fatty vitamins. Okay. Like the vitamin D and okay.
D, A,
A,
E, essential fatty acids, omegas 3, 6, 9. Super important, especially if you no longer have a gallbladder or your gallbladder is functioning slow or low. So awesome. Great question from Carmen there. And next, so Lily, she is asking a question about myofascial pain syndrome that she's been suffering from. Now, for those that don't know, it's long-term pain condition. It involves some muscles, thin layer of tissue holds muscles in place like the fascia. That's another thing that I was able to overcome, Dr. Wallach. And pressure on these points can trigger pain. So Dr. Wallach, if we've got somebody that's got pain all over, and for me, I called myself untouchable because it hurt. It hurt to be touched. What would you recommend? And the pain is often felt in shoulders, the back, tension headaches, face pain. These all symptoms, these all sound like symptoms of something that you would talk about quite often.
Yep. You need to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, wheat, butter, iron, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. That one's got to go. And then they need the 90 essential nutrients, either the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack or the Healthy Start Pack twice a day. And then they need to make sure that they're getting the I-26, okay, either the chewables or the capsules or the powder or any way you want to do it. Take 2-3 doses a day. That will help quell the pain anywhere there's nerves. And then also you need to be sure to use the CM cream topically on your shoulders, your neck, your hips, your knees, elbows, fingers, any place you have pain. And usually within a couple of days or a week or so, or 10 days or 2 weeks, this pain will go away. But you have to stay on the diet forever, okay? And then the pain thing won't come back.
And the reason why Dr. Wallach says to stay on this diet forever is because those foods on the bagged food list, they trigger inflammation. They create toxins going into the body, free radicals that attack the cells. These are all things that you want to eliminate from your diet so that you can thrive instead of continually moving forward, going back, moving forward, going back. Trust me, I know. Ask me how I know. Because I do so much better, Dr. Wallach. Over the years, I used a lot of CM cream until I stopped going back and forth. I removed those inflammatory things from my diet, and it has made such a world of difference. I added in the nutrition that included the support of the soft tissue, the hard tissue, the digestive system, the blood sugar. There's so many things, Dr. Wallach, that we've got to look at, because it's not just a one thing fixes all. Everybody has different things going on, and most of the time it starts with the gut.
Yeah, you have to think about the human body, compare it with a car. Do you just put gas
Yeah.
in the car and it fixes every problem and prevents every problem that a car has? No. That's why you have the dashboard with all those gauges on it. Okay. And all those things you have to do. And people pay attention to those gauges on their car every day. You spend more time taking care of your car than you do taking care of yourself. So you reverse that. So you're taking care of yourself, at least at the same rate that you're taking care of your car or your home, your bicycle, your motorcycle, whatever. You will do very well.
Absolutely. And they're becoming more and more gauges on the dashboard of cars, Dr. Wallach. Absolutely incredible what they can measure within the engine of a car. Well, folks, we need to measure what's going on within our bodies as well. And those symptoms are those gauges. So we need to pay attention, not just mask them. And you figure out, okay, I've got this, and this going on. Is this soft tissue, hard tissue, blood sugar, digestive? And then how do I do to fix it? Well, and that's where the Certified Holistic Health Coach course comes in handy. Whether you want to just take it for your own knowledge or take it to help others, that's what it's there for. And it is affordable. So check it out at coachwithdoc.com. Dr. Wallach, let's go to some hands that are up, and we have Catherine. Catherine, go ahead and unmute yourself. What question do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Well, I have two of them. One of the things on cholesterol. What is too high of cholesterol to be concerned with? And then the other question would be, how do you avoid sugar so much? I've avoided most of it, but I'll tell you what, it's hard to give up chocolate.
Okay, well, the sugar is easy. You have to pay attention and say, look, we're just going to eat whole foods. We're going to make sure that we're getting foods that are not prepared in a factory, and read labels, and you'll see that there's sugar in there. It may be the fifth ingredient, or maybe the second ingredient, maybe the first ingredient. You don't want that, okay? And then, of course, the cholesterol. You want cholesterol because that's the raw material for your body to make the sex hormones. Also, it's what your body uses to make the myelin, the white matter of the brain and spinal cord. So cholesterol is very, very important. But I also like, in addition to the 90 essential nutrients and so forth, I like the Zera test for the males and the Zera Fem for the females. Take 2 or 3 of those at least once a day, and gives your body very specific things, what it's looking for to make the hormones so that the female equipment works like a female and the male equipment works like a male. But you got to give it all the raw materials to make it happen. It doesn't just happen. And people, they come to me all the time and say, well, my doctor says I don't need to take all those vitamins, minerals, just eat well and get everything I need. We need to change doctors because that doctor doesn't know nothing. Okay. You cannot get everything you need just by eating well. And when you look at our average life expectancy in America, depending on where you live, it ranges from 25 to 125. Why is there such a wide range when it comes to longevity? Well, it comes down to what your body needs to function properly, okay? Your body cannot make these things. They're essential nutrients. When you say you're supposed to take these essential nutrients, you must take them because they're not in your food. Plants do not make minerals. They only need 3. We don't make minerals either, but we only need, what, 60? Okay, so, and when you look at the book, Hell's Kitchen, go to chapter 14, it covers a lot of territory, goes into why you need to be taking those nutrients, Hell's Kitchen, chapter 14. And then immortality, that book is starting to take some, what they say, people are starting to buy that book like crazy once they realize we had it. Go to chapter 11 in the book Immortality. It goes back 300,000 years ago. The Neanderthals, which were the cavemen, and they ruled the earth for over 300,000 years. And then, of course, they figured out about weapons and this, that, and the other, and that's when they started having problems. They were shooting each other and stabbing each other with arrows and spears and things like that. Well, for 300 years, they had a good control over everything. And chapter 11 in that book, Immortality, it'll blow your mind because it tells you what to do from beginning to end, what you need to avoid, what you need to supplement with. It'll add so many years to your life. There's no reason why everybody in America can't live to be at least 120.
Well, and Dr. Wallach, I trying to remember which book it's in, but some of your research was and included the Inuit Eskimos, where their cholesterol was in the 400 range. They did not have heart disease. They did not have buildup of cholesterol within their arteries and veins. So when it comes to what is too high, that all has to do with your diet. And it's best to manage cholesterol through diet and not so much put a number on it, because allopathic and naturopathic, and if you want to call include the functional medicine part of it, is where we're looking at what's going into the body that's causing poor health symptoms. So you can have a high cholesterol and have no poor health symptoms. Your arteries are completely clear. There's no buildup. There's no plaque. So that's a tough question. Dead Doctors Don't Lie is another one of Dr. Wallach's books. And folks, you can find Dr. Wallach's books at drjwallach.com. That is drjwallach.com. Epigenetics, the doc's holding up. You just have to tell me what they are, doc. I'll hold them up. This was my favorite book because it's the book that proved that the things that I had been told were genetic and the only thing that they could do was to suppress the symptoms or push me off to pain management, like degenerative bone and disc disease. No, I no longer have to be on pain management, nor do I have to think about it, nor do I have the symptoms not even shown on x-ray that I have those issues anymore. So there's a lot that we can do as individuals. We just have to be diligent and we have to be mindful of what we're putting in our bodies and around our bodies. Dr. Wallach, let's go to the next hand that is up. Catherine, I hope that answered your question. Thank you so much for coming on. The next question that we have, Coach Rod, go ahead and unmute yourself. What question do you have for Dr. Wallach today?
Good afternoon, Doc. How you doing?
Hey.
I have a guy, 5'10", 140 pounds. He has a catheter, and he wants to know what to do for the catheter, and when does he know to take it out?
I apologize. I'm not getting what he's got. He's got a what?
A catheter.
Oh, catheter.
To help him urinate.
So he cannot urinate without the catheter.
No.
Yeah, he may have an enlarged prostate. That's a possibility. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then, of course, we have ProstFX. It's a great, great product. And the ProstFX helps not only urination, but also helps the shipment of sperm from the testicles to, when you're having sex. Okay. And also, in addition to shipping sperm from one area to another, it also provides nutrients for the sperm. Okay, so I take my ProstFX, 2 or 3 of those twice a day, and I take my I-26, take 3 of those at least twice a day, and I go back and I once in a while I'll reread the book Epigenetics. I reread the book Dead Doctors Don't Lie, and then of course our newest book Metabolic Syndrome goes into that. In America, 1/3 of adult Americans have this problem. 1 out of 3. Okay, adults in America have this problem. And it covers gender problems, sexual problems, problems that have to do with stamina, okay, type 2 diabetes, goes to abdominal obesity. All these things are caused by the metabolic syndrome. And it goes back to the old Bible 2,000 years ago. And it talked about the land flowing with milk and honey. Okay, and of course, the land flowing with milk and honey deals with all this stuff we're just finished talking about. And so they knew there were problems with these things. They just didn't know what the exact cause was. They didn't know how to prevent it, how to reverse it, but they could spot it. Okay. And so it's one of those things where certain communities, because of where they were, where they lived, what nutrients were in the soil, because of the eruption of things up in the mountains and making the land flowing with milk and honey. It wasn't cow's milk, it was glacial milk. Okay, and the glaciers would grind up the rocks up in the mountains into a white dust. It'd go into the streams and turn the streams into like a milk white. And they thought 2,000 years ago that it was cow's milk coming down the mountain. No, it was glacial milk. And it added 25 to 50 years to people's lives. The glacial milk added 25 to 50 healthy years to people's lives. And it's still true today. And so this is why we come up with these formulas. This is why we come up with the books. And it's one of those things where you really, really want to give these books along with a couple of products for people in your family, your workplace, your neighbors, your church mates, your pastors, your rabbis, your policemen. Be nice to people who work with the community. And when you give them these nutrients, it doesn't hurt to, give them a book to go along with it, because, they have time and to be reading these books and things. And when you look at the lifespan of an emergency room medical doctor right now in America, an emergency room medical doctor lives to be 55.8. That's not very good. That tells you there's something wrong with what they believe in, what they do, and what they don't do. Okay, those are not my figures. Those are from the U.S. government.
Right, absolutely. So with having the enlarged prostate, needing to have a catheter, I mean, Dr. Wallach recommended the brain and heart pack, the PostDoc X, the Zera test for men.
Yeah.
Zera test.
The healthy brain and heart pack.
Yep. And I mentioned the healthy brain and heart pack, and then Ultimate Daily Classic. We want to make sure that we keep things circulating throughout the body, including the fluids.
And A+, because that helps the blood flow even through blocked arteries and things. Ultimate Daily Classic. It helps the prostate. It helps the kidneys. It helps the kidneys in the females and the males. And it's one of those things where we have the answers. We know what prevents these things. We know what helps you get through them. It might take you 2 or 3 or 6 months, depending on how intense you are in dealing with these things. You can get rid of many of these things in 2 weeks, but you got to be hard at it. Okay. And if you're just tipping it and I only do that once a week, it might to get rid of the problem. You'll get rid of the problem if you take these nutrients.
All right. Thank you so much. Rod, did that answer all the questions?
Yes, I was going to ask, when does he know to have the catheter removed, though?
So when will he know when it's okay to remove the catheter, Doc?
Well, what you do is you remove the catheter.
So he can just do that on its own?
Yeah, you see if you can pee on your own. If you can't pee on your own, you go back to the doctor and say, oh, I stepped on the catheter and pulled it out, so please put another one back in.
Okay.
We're not going to encourage them to lie, Doc. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. All about
Doc.
doing it yourself, right, Doc?
Yep.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you very much. All right.
Thank you, Rod. Great question. Dr. Wallach, next we're going to go to Abdul, who has a question for you. Abdul, go ahead and unmute yourself. What question do you have for Doc today?
Yeah, hi. My name is Abdul Rahman. I know it's hard to pronounce, but it's okay.
Okay, you're going to need to
you
get close. Put your microphone as close to your mouth as possible and then speak slow and clear.
I'm wearing AirPods. There's no microphone. I'm in a cafe. Sorry. You hear me now?
We can hear you. Yes.
So, doctor, I have this bad habit, which is actually grinding and like teeth grinding and clenching, and I have the desire to do it. And I don't know why. I know I'm under a lot of stress, but I don't know what's causing this.
Okay, what did he say?
So he has this habit of clenching and grinding his teeth. Doesn't know what causes that. He is under some stress. So what would be
Very simple,
clenching and grinding?
very simple. You need to get 2 books. It's on your head, okay, and the metabolic syndrome. The information in these 2 books will solve his problems. The problem with clenching teeth and ringing in the ears and that sort of stuff is due to osteoporosis of the skull. Okay,
I'm going to hold it up for you, Doc.
the top picture.
That way it's not blocking your mouth.
Okay, the top picture is a normal skull. They've taken the top of the skull off. The camera's looking down on the brain. You see the skull is a 1/4 inch thick. The bottom picture, and the top off the skull, camera's looking down on the brain. You'll notice it's up to 2 inches thick. The 12 pairs of cranial nerves come through tunnels, and when you get osteoporosis of the skull, those tunnels are filled up with that connective tissue. There you go, the connective tissue, and put the pressure on the nerves, and you get these types of problems. So you need the book that's on your head. You need the book with the metabolic syndrome, and I get the book Hell's Kitchen, and those 3 things right there. You know, get on the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack, get on the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets right off the bat, and then read the book and find out what else you need to do. The Ultimate Daily Classic, okay.
Gel. So the nice thing about this is the metabolic syndrome, and also it's all in your head. They are available as digital books or ebooks. So I know this individual is not here in the States, which it makes it a little more difficult for getting, you know, the actual copy, but we're working on that as a solutions on that too. But these are available as digital downloads so that you can get them and use them on your readers, even through Amazon. And you can go to drjwallach.com and you'll see the digital downloads there as well. So Doc, we're talking about the connective tissue, and we are coming up to the top of the hour, the end of the show. So as those nerves are coming through the hole and they're being squeezed, it's because the skull is thick, creating that tunnel to be smaller. What do we need to add to help strengthen the bone and help bring it back into the shape that it's supposed to? So you mentioned the Brain and Heart Pack. You mentioned the Old Daily Classic. So you're getting your foundation. You're also getting the nutrients to help create more circulation and clear anything that might be clogged, you know.
Clogging the arteries, yeah. But
clogging the arteries so much. I-26.
Throw in the I-26, okay, which will help the brain and the spinal cord heal faster and build all the parts that it needs to function properly.
So if there's a loss of myelin that has to do with the protection of the brain or damage on that myelin sheath, the I-26, the components within the I-26, okay? So I can't say that any of the longevity products are going to diagnose, treat, cure any disease. But folks, if you look at those ingredients, you go to pubmed.gov and look up those ingredients, you're going to find that, in fact, those ingredients help support the body's ability to be able to do what Dr. Wallach is saying. So we got the I-26, and then also the glucogel that comes in liquid or capsule formats that help with that connective tissue. and also the MSM Ultra, which includes the nutrients needed to help support the connective tissue and also the bones. So one last questions before we have to go. And AJ, oh, let's try that again. Go ahead and unmute yourself. What question do you have for Doc?
Hey, Doc, that last caller, Abdul Rahman, he is wondering if the grinding of the teeth has anything to do with the fact that he's on kidney dialysis.
Well, kidney dialysis is required because his kidneys aren't functioning properly. Okay, and this is why he needs the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets to get those kidneys functioning. Your kidneys are amongst your best friends, your brain, your heart, your kidneys. Okay, and so the 90 essential nutrients plus the Ultimate Daily Classic to get that blood flowing through the arteries in the brain, the heart, and the kidneys. The kidneys repair very quickly. Doctors love the going in for dialysis.
I bet they do.
That's how they pay for their kids to go to college.
I bet. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you, sir. Keep up the great work.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, AJ. And you might as well just stay up here because we're going to be, or I'm going to be asking all of my co-hosts to come up on the screen with me. Not quite sure. There we go. And we got one more waiting to come up. So folks, we are a team. We work together as a team. This is only a small part of my team, but these are the people that have stepped up and said, hey, I want to help. I want to be part of creating a solution to get the information out that then can help people, not just in my own backyard, but also around the world. So I want to thank Dr. Wallach because he's the reason we're all here and we all have a testimony to share. So thank you, Dr. Wallach, for all that you do. And I also want to thank, and I'm going to start at the top, AJ, who is instrumental in helping us get on all the different platforms. Thank you for using your talents and skills to do that, including getting the newsletter out. So make sure that you go to dailywithdoc.com, folks, and sign up for our email list, our newsletter, and you'll be able to receive information about previous shows, upcoming shows, and any special events that we have coming up, including the newsletter that is about to launch, which has some more amazing information in it for you. We have Marilyn, who is an amazing writer and typist, where some of those newsletters are some of her handiwork that will be coming out. Now, she's also one of the great reasons you want to be here live is because if you open up that chat, you are going to be able to see the work that she's doing as she's transcribing what's being spoken into writing so that you can take a screenshot of it and then keep it or take it to your coach and say, okay, this is what I want to take, or this is what I need. This is what doctor recommended for me. We have Sherry, who with her many certifications in coaching and health coaching and just health in general, found that Dr. Wallach's products and what was developed from Dr. Wallach's work, which Dr. Wallach is no longer an owner of Longevity. He has turned that over. So he does not accept or make money off of Longevity proper. It is from the sale of his books, but she found the products that Dr. Wallach had started as being solutions to help her clients even more so. She's also part of our tech team. So thank you, Sherry. We have Ruth Ellen, who is my executive production manager, who helps to keep us all organized and is making sure that the stream is running smoothly and broadcasting that. So thank you so much, Ruth Ellen, for all that you do. We have Rod, who is out watching the different platforms, helping let people in and bringing in questions from the different avenues that people are able to reach us. So thank you, Rod, for doing that. And we also have Albert. Albert is probably the farthest person I know from me, okay? He is way down in South Africa, and that just proves that we can do this business from anywhere and everywhere in our own backyards. And together, folks, we are helping to create healthier communities around the world, and you can do the same. So as Albert is letting people in, it is very important, because if they weren't able to get in, they may not be able to ask Dr. Wallach their questions, which those questions may be something that you who are listening to the replay or watching the live stream have also. So we're getting those answers for you. My name is Becca Dukes, and I am honored and privileged, humbly honored, to be able to be part of the solution and working so closely with Dr. Wallach and each and every one of my co-hosts and their clients, and all of the coaches that are here that are not even part of my quote unquote team. We are family, and we do work together to make sure people are getting the information and having this as a resource so that they also can reach their communities. Folks, if you've ever wanted to be part of a community where people are truly working together and creating healthier environments, not just through nutrition, but emotionally as well, there's room for you at our table, and we invite you. Get back with the person that shared this program with you and tell them that you want a seat at the table. You want to be part of the solution. If there is no one to thank, make sure that you give our call team a call, 855-949-3377. Again, 855-949-3377. And don't forget to get Dr. Wallach's books. Go to www.drjwallach.com. Folks, thank you so much for investing this time into your own health, no matter where you're at. Again, like, subscribe, send us a comment, let us know where you're at. No matter what platform you're on, we know that there was something within this message today that is going to benefit you, your family, your community, so that we all can work together to create a healthier world. Until next time, we'll see you Monday through Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific time right here on dailywithdoczoom.com. Bye for now. Bye, Doc. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you, team. Love you all.
This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.
This program is for educational purposes only. The content is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases, nor is it intended to take the place of your primary care physician. The statements in this program have not been evaluated by the FDA. Testimonials are shared as individual experiences, and the individual results vary and may not be typical. We do not make any claims regarding health or income. As an empowered individual, you do have options available. We are honored to have a founding father of the science of epigenetics guiding us with the best options to obtain or maintain optimal health, Dr. Joel Wallach.